Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is preseason football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we'll see the most valuable player of 2018, Patrick Mahomes, and the Kansas City Chiefs, as they match up with the great Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
There's a look at one of the most iconic sports venues in the lower 48, built back in 1957 under the title of City Stadium. We are at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. We all know this community lives for its Packers, and the green and gold came out of the tunnel a short time ago, and it was loud. We are ready for football, so are they, as the Packers get set to match up with the Kansas City Chiefs. Set to go in a rematch of what would come to be known later as the first Super Bowl. The Chiefs and Packers are underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Packers take the field. Aaron Rodgers at the helm. 2019 marking his 12th season as the Packers starter. 15th season overall. Last year for Rodgers, 25 touchdown passes, just 2 interceptions.
Number 53, Mike 53. Watch the run, watch the run.
This is the rookie from Notre Dame, Dexter Williams. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. And now the offensive starters for the Packers.
Durable and dependable, but also elite is left tackle David Bakhtiari. He's only missed 6 games in his NFL career. He protects Aaron Rodgers' blind side, and he does it so well. In 2018, named first-team All-Pro for the first time in his career.
From the 27, Rodgers. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
It's got to the point where we see guys like that make that type of a catch. Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're kind of like wide receiver one-handed catches nowadays.
Just not right.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Rodgers. This is caught by Williams. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the third down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
48-yard punt, 7 on the return, and it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 26. On play action, it's Mahomes. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Kenny Clark able to take him down. It's a loss of 3.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. Here's Mahomes to throw. Flushed out right. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Mahomes can sling it, but the feet are nimble too as he scrambles for a first down. When plays break down, that's normally when Mahomes is at his best throwing the football, but as we saw, he can run it too. Last year, 60 carries, 272 yards, great elusiveness and speed, and the Chiefs obviously don't want him to be a running quarterback, but if he sees an angle like he did there, any opening, he has the ability to take it and run. Mahomes complete to his tight end. It's Kelsey. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a first down. Kelsey, such a valuable part of this offense. Made the Pro Bowl the last 4 seasons. 2018 being the most productive when he went over 1,300 yards, 10 touchdowns, and a great relationship between he and Pat Mahomes off the field. Very good friends, attended a bunch of high-profile sporting events together in the offseason, and that chemistry, it certainly shows on the field. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
They'll run it with Williams. And this carry terminated at the 8-yard line. Good stick skill showing the power, but just not much room to operate. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. On 2nd down now, it's Williams. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. And now the Chiefs' offensive starters.
And the play of this offensive line is going to tell a big story. And right now, if you're a fan of this team, you're loving the story that they're telling. They've already created some holes in the running game on this opening drive, and they're going to need to keep it up for these guys to have a big chance at victory.
I'm coming after you.
Here's a guy on his 4th franchise in 2 years, Carlos Hyde. And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive 7 plays in length, and it was capped off by a Carlos Hyde touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how the defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got a look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. They've had touchdowns on both of their drives thus far, but now they face a 3rd and long. Here's Rodgers to throw. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And this defense looking like they have come to play the pick six, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visits. What do we hear during these drills? Pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski. That's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
Butker on for the PAT. And it's good to make it 14-0. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. And now, Charles, this becomes a pretty important second drive for them. They're already down a pair of scores here in the first quarter.
As you noted, they're down 2 scores, and to me, they're down a possession or a service break if this were tennis, right? Because they just gave one up. Only their second drive now. Run their offense, try and get back into the game that way, and then look for some help from their defense.
Trying to forget about that pick six last time out. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And let's take a look at the defensive starters for Kansas City.
Usually when we talk about cornerbacks, we talk about their plays on the football. How about Kendall Fuller and his ability to tackle guys who have the football in their hands? Second in solo tackles in 2018 on his team. He's one of 4 Fuller brothers to play in the NFL.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Williams. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage. They dialed up the blitz on 3rd down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. It's taken to the 26. Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now here comes Kansas City. Got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. On 1st down, Mahomes. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. And let's get a look at the Green Bay defense.
Safety Adrian Amos was a free agent in 2018, and division rival Green Bay took note and brought him to Wisconsin to patrol the center of their defense and also drop down near the line of scrimmage and make some big-time plays in the running game.
Mike. Yellow. Let's go, 3 buzz.
They fake the give. Now Mahomes. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. In the pocket, chucked it away. Flag comes down.
So you got to move a little bit, right? Know where you are on the field, have some awareness. Tackle to tackle. You got to get outside of that tackle box in order to get that done.
So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose a down on the grounding call. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. That scramble good for 13 yards, but not good enough for a 1st down. It's 4th.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a first down.
Here we go, 4th down, Mahomes. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Preston Smith comes in for the sack. So, Charles, why in the world do you take that risk there?
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense on the surface, but I've been around enough of these coaches and enough of these meetings along the way. Sometimes they're so confident in a play call that they don't care about the situation. They think that that play, at that time, they're going to run it and pick up whatever they need. So maybe that's what influenced him there. I'm guessing because I have no other explanation.
Yeah, that's tough. Own side of the field, that chunk of yardage to pick up. Head scratcher. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Watch the slant.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. After the sack on 1st down, Rodgers. That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. Yeah, Williams is going to be stopped short of the yellow line. He did not get there. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here. Accelerating, and off he goes. 20, 10, touchdown, Chiefs.
Yeah, touchdown! Woo! That's what I'm talking about, baby.
Butker now to add the extra point. And oh my goodness, this is nowhere close. Well to the right and no good.
Keeps the score. Chiefs 20, Packers nothing. Harrison Butker to kick off for Kansas City.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
Keep playing hard.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Last time they had a little bit of a special teams breakdown. That field goal was blocked.
Yeah, and everything has to be precise in the kicking game. Snap, hold, kick. Obviously the blocking to keep people out. So what you really want to do is get in there and get 6 points and take the pressure off of those guys.
Anthony Hitchens, second in the AFC in tackles last year, there to bring him down. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Rodgers, quick slant, caught by Moore. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. On the ground, this is Williams. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On play action, Rodgers. And he finds his tight end, Graham. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Rodgers on target to Valdez-Scantling. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Now on 3rd down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And this is going to be incomplete.
everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it, an in route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. This is taken around the 12. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. A big reason why they've been so successful. This defense hasn't been able to contain him when he gets outside of the pocket.
So true, and that's when it's really difficult because defensively you can have a game plan and trying to account for all the things you've seen on tape, the way that they run their plays, even his running. But when it's a play where you just can't really say, okay, that's how the play's supposed to go, what they call broken plays, that's when the X and O doesn't work. That's when their Jimmy is better than your Joe.
Well, with Damian Williams, it's notable that the Chiefs didn't make a play to go after a big-time running back in the offseason. And the coaching staff said back in May they didn't want running back by committee. They trusted Williams to be. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Mecole Hardman, 66 yards. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it is stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Pulled in at the 24. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the Chiefs will have excellent field position here as they take over. Now a first down carry, it's Williams. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
A good pickup there, a 22. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover down.
And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. From 13 yards out, as his guys continue to pour it on.
I know a lot of people look at these games and think, all right, this thing's done. Let's have some sportsmanship. Let's not try and score. You should never do that in the NFL. I've seen big leads blown and teams that looked like they had a victory, all of a sudden we're going home with a loss.
Point after, right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first. Throwing now is Rodgers. And that'll be incomplete. Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think you might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Williams. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports.